When the Himalayan peasant meets the he-bear in his pride, he shouts to scare the monster, who will often turn aside. But the she-bear thus accosted rends the peasant tooth and nail. For the female of the species is more deadly than the male. When Nag the basking cobra hears the careless foot of man, he will sometimes wriggle sideways and avoid it if he can. But his mate makes no such motion where she camps beside the trail. For the female of the species is more deadly than the male. When the early Jesuit fathers preached to Hurons and Choctaws, they prayed to be delivered from the vengeance of the squaws. 'Twas the women, not the warriors, turned those stark enthusiasts pale. For the female of the species is more deadly than the male. Man's timid heart is bursting with the things he must not say. For the woman that God gave him isn't his to give away. But when hunter meets with husbands, each confirms the other's tale. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. Man, a bear in most relations, worm and savage otherwise. Man propounds negotiations. Man accepts the compromise. Very rarely will he squarely push the logic of a fact to its ultimate conclusion in unmitigated act. Fear, or foolishness, impels him, ere he lay the wicked low, to concede some form of trial even to his fiercest foe. Mirth obscene diverts his anger. Doubt and pity oft perplex him in dealing with an issue to the scandal of the sex. But the woman that God gave him, every fiber of her frame proves her launched for one sole issue, armed and engined for the same, and to serve that single issue, lest the generations fail. The female of the species must be deadlier than the male. She who faces death by torture for each life beneath her breast may not deal in doubt or pity, must not swerve for fact or jest. These be purely male diversions. Not in these her honor dwells. She the other law we live by is that law and nothing else. She can bring no more to living than the powers that make her great, as the mother of the infant and the mistress of the mate. And when babe and man are lacking and she strides unclaimed to claim her right as femme and barren, her equipment is the same. Rudyard Kipling compares and contrasts the behavior of male and female members of numerous species, including humans, bears, cobras, and Jesuits, in his poem, The Female of the Species. The poem makes the claim that women are frequently more murderous, furious, and resolute in their acts and reactions than men. According to the poetry, females are compelled by their instincts to defend their offspring and their mate, and they will not relent or show mercy in this endeavor. Contrast, the poem presents men as timid and prone to compromise, held back by fear and doubt, and not driven by the same singular focus and determination. The poem also suggests that men's societal roles and responsibilities often keep them from fully embracing their natural instincts and that it is seen as not appropriate. Overall, the poem is a tribute to the fierce and powerful nature of females, and it suggests that females are just as capable and worthy as males, if not more so. And it seems to be also a critique on societal norms that don't give space for women to fully express themselves and their abilities. First, it could be perceived as sexist or prejudiced if women are portrayed in the poem as being innately dangerous and fierce. The preconception that women are more lethal than men is untrue because it ignores individual differences and skill sets. Second, because it perpetuates unfavorable stereotypes about males being unable or weak, the poem's representation of men as timid and prone to compromise may also be perceived as sexist. Thirdly, some readers could find the poem's language and imagery unpleasant, particularly the use of the term squaw to describe Native American women and the comparisons of women to cobras and bears. The notion that women are only capable of becoming mothers and partners may also be perceived as constrictive and confining, and it downplays their other skills, talents, and accomplishments. Finally, the poems claim that women have all the power and freedom while males are unable to completely embrace their inherent instincts is untrue and disrespects the complexity of human behavior. It's important to keep in mind that Kipling's work was published more than a century ago, and that since then, cultural perceptions of gender and race have changed considerably. Keeping in mind that the poetry should be read and understood in the context of its time is equally crucial.